Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today for men only.
Why do you pursue a woman and she tells you that she cannot be hurt again?
Fellas, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about what happens when women over 45 finally realize they've hit the wall. The attention fades, the options dry up, and reality starts to sink in hard. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it.
I just saw a video where a woman was explaining that she feels like her husband doesn't see her. And she means literally, like she'd say something to him and he wouldn't even react. It was like she wasn't even there. So her therapist told her to try ghosting him. And what her therapist meant was like, don't talk to him, don't text him.
Your therapist told you to do this? This is what therapists are telling people to do to their spouses?
Don't call him, don't make him breakfast, don't talk to him. Just ghost him emotionally. So this wife did it. She ghosted her husband and it took him 3 days to notice and ask her what was wrong. We used to get married for protection. Men said we're less valuable if men use us up. So we need to find one man to marry us to maintain our value and to protect us from other men.
Go on.
And to take care of us. That's what
We're not here to protect your own feelings from yourself.
we used to get married for. What are y'all getting married for?
What, you didn't get married for money and someone to take care of you? Stop lying.
Because a man who doesn't see you can't protect you. A man who doesn't see you can't take care of you. He can't pick you up if you're stranded on the side of the road. He can't save you if you're drowning. He certainly won't take care of you if you're sick. What are you getting married for? Is it love? A man who doesn't see you definitely doesn't love you. What are you getting married for?
She's out here sharing a video where a woman says her husband doesn't see her, and then goes on to praise a therapist's advice.
Right?
Ghost your husband emotionally. Don't talk to him. Don't call him. Don't make him breakfast. Just vanish in your own home. And somehow, that's supposed to fix the marriage? Let's be real. This is emotional manipulation dressed up as self-help. If the foundation of your relationship is communication, how is the solution to not communicate? That's not growth. That's punishment. That's
And she sees this as a flex.
not healing. That's teaching women to shut down and disengage like they're trying to win some power struggle, not build a partnership. You want to be seen? Try actually showing up instead of playing disappearing games. And then comes the dramatic line. A man who doesn't see you can't protect you or love you. But here's the real question. What made him stop seeing you in the first place? Because men don't just go numb overnight. You think emotional distance happens randomly? No. That's the result of years of unspoken resentment, disrespect, criticism, and never feeling appreciated.
Pretty much.
You want a man to open up, to stay present, to care deeply, but you can't do that while treating him like a checklist of unmet expectations. What's ironic is that the same woman telling the story asks, "Why are y'all even married?" And that's actually the right question, not for the man, but for her. Because when your answer to marital problems is silent treatment and emotional games instead of honest conversations and
I mean, women can't confront crap. This is probably why women are shitty communicators, because they literally do not want to confront a person and have these actual conversations.
mutual accountability, you're not trying to fix the relationship, you're trying to win it. The truth
Pretty
is,
much.
a man can't see you when all you show him is resentment.
Remember, sign language. Shame, insult, guilt, and a need to be right.
He can't love you deeply if every time he tries, he gets punished for not doing it perfectly. And if you're more focused on what he isn't doing than on who you used to be together, maybe the problem isn't that he stopped seeing you. Maybe the problem is that you stopped being someone worth seeing.
I'm in my 40s. I've never been married. I have no children. Hello, my name is Jacqueline. I've noticed I've gained a few new followers, so I just wanted to do a very, very quick intro. My page just showcases what my reality is like in this single era. We're having fun, actually. I love traveling, health, fitness, self-love, self-care, positive vibes, living
That's why you're making videos about it. Got it.
peacefully, worshiping God. That's what we do here. If that's your vibe, I'm so glad that you're here. Stick around. Some days are fun, some days are boring. I mean, I work a 9 to 5, so hey, that's my reality. I have to pay the bills. But work hard, play hard. When we play hard, we play hard. So I'm glad that you're here.
She's in her 40s now, no husband,
Plays hard in her 40s.
no
guys.
kids, and suddenly the independent woman narrative isn't hitting the same anymore. Reality is finally knocking, and it's not asking about her job title or her degree. It's asking, where's your family? Where's your legacy?
True.
Who's beside you when the lights go out and you're not strong anymore? Here's the truth. God didn't design us to live in isolation. He didn't say chase the bag and forget the basics. He said build a home, nurture a family, love and be loved. Not collect promotions and come home to silence. Not sit in restaurants with your girls every Friday night pretending that wine and girl talk replaces companionship, protection, and purpose. And yet, here she is, giving the worst advice to young women who do want families.
I mean, go out there, get ran through, get old, lose all your eggs, and be exactly like me, miserable.
Telling them to take your time, focus on your career, don't settle. You don't need a man to be happy. But she's not being honest about the cost of that freedom. She's not telling them about the birthdays she celebrates alone, the holidays that feel hollow, or how the peace of being single turns to emptiness when everyone else builds something real. The
How everybody else gets flowers on Valentine's except for me.
hard part? No one claps for your career when you're 60 and childless. No one throws you a party for being alone with money in the bank. No one visits your retirement home because of your resume. That young girl scrolling through TikTok, confused and overwhelmed, needs truth, not empowerment laced with regret. She needs to know that you don't get these years back, and if family is something she values, she better stop listening to women who didn't get it right and start building the life she actually wants. Because at the end of the day, a high-rise apartment and a strong Wi-Fi signal won't hold your hand when life gets hard. God didn't say dial.
Whoa. I mean, Wi-Fi might hold your hand if it's connected to a robot.
alone. He said it is not good for man to be alone, and that goes for women too.
True.
But like, there's no way that we're actually like adults, right? My 40 and over people, like, do you still feel like you're like 20? Because
I know a lot of like mid-30s people that feel like they're 20, or they act like they're 20 at least.
swear there's times when I have to be like, you're 40. You're not in your early 20s anymore. I have to like remind myself of that because mentally, I'm still in my 20s. I am not that 40-year-old. I can remember being in the bar at 21 through 28, like when I had my daughter and we stopped going, and seeing women my age and being like, this old chick in the bar, and I'm the old chick now.
Yep.
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 When did this happen? Because I don't like it.
It's called time.
I can't be the only.
It
I
keeps
know
moving
I am not
forward.
the only one who doesn't actually believe that I'm the adult now. I'm responsible for 2 human beings' lives. I have 2 kids. I have a 12-year-old. I have a 7-year-old, and me and my husband are solely responsible for their lives. And that doesn't even seem like reality to me half the time. Because I think back, like when I was a kid, my parents seemed like so grown as a kid. And I'm like, there's no way that I'm that grown. I can't be that grown.
You're not, because you didn't develop your mind.
I'm 22.
We know.
40. Absolutely not. I'm 22.
She's 40, but mentally, she swears she's still in her 20s. Still dressing the same, acting the same, talking like she's got all the time in the world. Still on TikTok doing dance trends and talking about waiting for the right one. But here's the thing. She's hit the wall hard. She just can't believe it. The wall isn't just about looks. It's about reality catching up. It's that moment when the world stops treating you like you're the center of it. When compliments become rare, options dry up, and the attention she used to get effortlessly Gone. Now she's confused, thinking men are intimidated or can't handle a strong woman. No, they just have choices, and they're choosing younger women with less baggage, less entitlement, and more willingness to build. See, when she was 25, she thought she'd have a man, kids, and a home by now. But she chased freedom. She chased fun. She chased the next high-value experience instead of a high...
I mean, she says she's still going to clubs and stuff and looking at the young women, and they're looking at her as she is the old bag. Because you are.
Value relationship. And now that the music's fading and the lights are dimming, she's still spinning in circles trying to convince herself nothing's changed. But it has.
Young.
The problem is, she spent her prime years thinking she'd be the exception to the rule, that she would still be wanted no matter what, that she could come back at any time and pick a good man off the shelf like he'd be waiting there. Newsflash, he's not. She's not in her 20s anymore, and deep down, she knows it. That's why she gets defensive when someone mentions age. That's why she scoffs at younger women settling down early. That's why she talks about healing and self-love like it's a lifestyle, when really, it's a cover-up for regret she's not ready to face. She's not fooling anyone but herself. Because the truth is, youth is a season. And if you spend that season acting like it'll last forever, you end up in your 40s, alone, bitter, and wondering where it all went wrong.
Youth goes by quickly. It really does.
And that's the part they never post on Instagram.
All my 40 and over people, I have a question for you. Out of all of the friends and people you were with in school, middle school, high school, how many of those people do you still talk to?
My best friend works for Google. Known him for 25 years now. Still talk to him all the time. And then my other best friend, met him in college. Still talk to him all the time. Everybody else from high school, don't really talk to. I have maybe one other person.
How many of those people are you actually friends with, like on a deep level? How many of them can you just call up anytime and have a conversation and they know what you're talking about?
One.
I can count on no hands how many that is for me.
At least I got one from high school. But I got 2-3 solid friends, though.
Because it's zero. Now, I'll tell you, growing up and in school, I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of people around me. I had, at any time, a handful of people that I could always count on to call and whatever. And it's just not that way anymore.
Well, someone should have told you. Like an adult should have told you that all the friends you have that you've made when you were younger, they're all going to go away. Very few of them actually stick around. This is for everyone.
And I try to explain this to my daughter. She's 12, and she struggles a lot with not having enough friends. And I try to explain to her that the people in your life when you're 12 that you think are going to be your best friends forever, because that's what you say now, and you're together, and you share everything right now. I try to make her understand that those people likely will not be as important as you think they may be down the road.
Shout outs to you, Mom, for actually giving her a pretty good lesson. Yeah, she should be learning that.
So I guess I'm just wondering how many 40 and over people have been able to maintain those relationships that you had since you were a child in school. How's that going?
How's
Only
dating like in your 40s versus 20s?
I'd say dating in my 40s is so much better because I'm confident. I have more money. I know the things that I like and the things I don't like. I don't know. It's a lot better. And I'll tell you that I at first was like, okay, in my 40s, have I aged out? Like, are guys going to be not as interested? And no, it's the opposite. Like, the younger guys like you, the older guys like you, the guys your age like you. You actually have a wide range. And I think as long as you're taking care of yourself and you're confident and I don't know, you just feel good, there's like this aura that you put out, then dating's fine.
Yeah, it's called the aura. I'm desperate. Throw penises my way.
It's been so much fun.
She's out here saying that dating in her 40s is better because now she's more confident, knows what she wants, and makes more money. Sounds
When did the money ever even matter? You were 20, broke, and you still got to go out to yachts and trips.
empowering on the surface, right? But let's take a closer look at what's really being said and what's being avoided. Because here's the truth. Dating in your 40s isn't better. It's just different.
Yep.
And for a lot of women, it's harder. Much harder. Let's be real. confidence doesn't replace youth, and clarity doesn't erase baggage. The same men she once rejected in her 20s are now the ones ignoring her in her 40s. Why? Because men her age are dating younger, and younger women aren't interested in competing with someone who now sees dating as a negotiation table instead of a genuine connection. She says she knows what she wants, but the irony? What she wants no longer wants her, not because she's a bad person, but because the marketplace changed. She didn't lock anything down when she had maximum leverage, and now she's trying to play the same game with fewer options and higher expectations. And that more money she talks about, it means nothing in the dating world. Men aren't out here prioritizing your paycheck. They want peace, femininity, respect, and loyalty, not a resume and a list of demands. Her career doesn't make her more dateable. It just makes her feel more accomplished. But personal success doesn't equal relationship value. Those are
even as a man, just because you have more business success does not make you, more successful in relationships either. You still got to work on these things, right? Men and women.
two different currencies. So yeah, she might feel more secure in herself, but that doesn't mean dating got better. What really happened is this. She missed her prime window. She's reframing the narrative to make it feel like a choice. But if dating in your 40s was truly better, why are so many women in their 40s alone, frustrated, and asking, where are all the good men? Because the truth is, they were there, back when she didn't want them. Now she's the one hoping to be seen. And when men don't show up the way she hoped, she calls it maturity. But deep down, it's just regret dressed as confidence.
Yep.
So I've been divorced for 2.5 years, and I'm ready to start dating. And I'm just wondering, where are all the men at? Because the dating apps, well, they're terrible. Either the men don't know how to take good pictures of themselves, or they're just not
Okay, I can admit that. I am pretty horrible at taking pictures of myself
on there,
and
or they
a lot
don't
of
say
men.
anything. I don't really understand it. They're not at the grocery store. Like, are you guys getting your groceries delivered? Where are all the men at? I don't golf, so that's out.
She's been divorced for 2.5 years, and now she's suddenly ready to start dating. And her big question? Where are all the men? They're not at the grocery store. And this right here is the classic example of modern dating delusion hitting reality. For years, women have been told they can put relationships on pause, chase personal growth, get the divorce, find themselves, and then just pick up where they left off. Like men are standing around in frozen food aisles waiting to be chosen.
It does seem like that's how they think. Like, oh, I end this relationship, I can just pick up from where I was with all of my stuff that I had in this last relationship with the new guy. That's exactly how women think.
But that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. The men she's now looking for, they've moved on. Some are happily partnered with women who chose them before the glow-up phase and I need to find myself era. Others have left the dating scene entirely because they got tired of being blamed, used for emotional support, or treated like projects. And the few that are left? They're highly selective. Not because they're arrogant, but because they've watched what's happened to men who settled. She's looking for the same quality of men she would have had access to before the divorce, before the time passed, and before the realization kicked in. But
yeah, that is the thing that women can't get over, right? The selection that they have and how great that selection is, as in how great the men that they were able to pick from in their 20s, they still feel like they could deserve those men in their 30s and 40s. They still think that they deserve the exact same men. But these men have either gotten with their significant other, or they're out there just blowing through women left and right because they're the men that women want now.
But now she's navigating the dating market after the storm, and it's not as forgiving, especially when the message is, I'm ready now, as if time hasn't changed the terms. Also, let's be real, the men she's looking for, they're not at the grocery store. They're not waiting around hoping a recently divorced woman in her 40s will stroll by the produce section and change their life. These men are busy, building, working.
I don't think men are going out to like grocery stores to expect like a wife to appear out of nowhere.
Living. And if they are dating, they're probably dating women who bring peace, not complications and questions about where are all the good men. Here's the hard truth. She had her chances, probably many. But back then, the timing wasn't right, or she wasn't ready, or she thought she had more time. Now, 2.5 years post-divorce, she's finally ready. But reality doesn't wait for readiness. It keeps moving, and so do the men.
Like I said, Father Time does not forgive. He moves on.
So no, they're not in the grocery store. They're living their lives, peacefully, away from women who only see their value after it's convenient for them.
Well, that's a wrap. Effective today, I'm off all the apps. I gave myself 1 month to try out a few different apps, and then if nothing came from it, nothing came from it. Or I would see where the matches got me, or I would see who I met, see how I felt. And let me tell you, I hated them. I hated it. I absolutely hate online dating. I think it's atrocious. After about 2, maybe 3 weeks, I was like, I'm done. And I wanted to end it. And I didn't, but now that they've...
See, it's sad. Like, you want something, but you're only willing to put in 1 month worth of work to try to get it. And because that 1 month didn't go well or you hated it, you're done.
Expired as of
trash
today, and I feel so good about that. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back on. So I'm wondering, actually, to be very honest, I matched with like, I don't know, a dozen people who I went on dates with in the last month, and
a dozen? 1 month you went out with 12 people? That's 3 dates a week. Jeez.
None of them were it. I mean, I'm not saying that it has to be 1 in 12 when I, have this little snippet of time in my life where I'm looking, but none of them were anything to really get excited about. Actually, the people that I liked the most are people that I met off of this app. Oddly enough, I've had quite a few really awesome people reach out and connect with me through DMs on TikTok. And I'm wondering, is this the new dating app? Is this where people are going? Is this where people are shooting their shots? So if that's the case, please like my videos and comment and save and share and do all the things to get my engagement out there, because maybe this is how I'll meet my guy. Maybe this is where I go. Maybe him watching.
Again, I put in 1 month's work. I'm tired. Now I'm just going to post videos like this and hopefully someone shows up.
All of these videos and hearing about me and seeing what I like and what I'm looking for and what I'm able to bring to the table is exactly what he's looking for and what he can bring to the table. So hook me up, my fellows.
And what was that you brought to the table? What was it?
Fellow TikTokers. Let me know and give my page a follow. Please and thank you.
She gave herself 1 month, just 1 month, to try and find someone. And now she's proudly announcing that she's grateful it's over and she's back off all dating apps again. And this right here? This is what modern dating entitlement looks like when reality finally says, no, it doesn't work that way. Here's the thing. She's in her 40s. She's been through the cycle before, on and off the apps, talking about low-quality men, no good matches, nobody takes things seriously, but never once asking why the outcome stays the same every single time. Because it's easier to blame the dating pool than it is to reflect on what she brings to it. She says the apps don't work for her. But the question is, what exactly is she expecting them to do? Deliver a handsome, emotionally intelligent, financially stable, confident, monogamous man who just happens to be single, never...
That's exactly what they're always expecting.
...married, no baggage, and fully invested after 2 text messages? Oh, and he better be taller than her, funnier than her ex.
He better beg.
And never asked to split the bill. See the problem? The dating apps aren't broken, the expectations are. You can't come to the marketplace late, want top shelf quality, put in minimal effort, and then throw the whole system away because reality didn't match your fantasy. Especially after years of ignoring good men, ghosting genuine ones, or choosing chaos over consistency. And now she's not only walking away from dating apps, but almost celebrating it, like it's empowering to admit defeat while pretending she never cared in the first place. But we see it for what it is.
Remember victimhood.
Exhaustion wrapped in pride. Because behind that, I'm happily off the apps again smile, is the sinking realization that dating in your 40s isn't like dating in your 20s. The options shrink, the stakes rise, and the men who are actually ready for something real, they're not chasing women who treat love like a 30-day trial. She didn't leave the apps because there were no good men. She left because she finally realized that good men aren't waiting around for someone who thinks commitment should show up fast, flawless, and on her timeline. Welcome back to reality.
How you doing? Okay, seriously, I have received 3 different text messages in the last 3 weeks from 3 different guys I casually dated or hung out with 3 years ago. Like,
Okay.
I have been in a relationship for almost 3 years with my boyfriend. And all of a sudden, in the last 2-3 weeks, 3 different guys have texted me randomly. One, hey, I was thinking about you. Okay. I didn't have his phone number in my phone anymore. I was like, who is this? And then another one reached out on like Facebook Messenger and was just like, hey, how's it going? And then one texted me who apparently I still had in my phone and was just like, hey, what is the point of this? Like, are you that lonely that you're just going through your contacts and reaching out to anybody
Probably. Well, men do that.
who you had any interaction with, even if it's been like, I don't know, 1,000 days ago? I truly don't understand this. What is the mentality? What is the thought process on this? Let me know, because I don't understand. We are all like in our mid-40s, so we're not like young here. So please explain this to me.
She's out here dating in her 40s, and now she's shocked that some random guy she went out with 3 years ago just texted her out of the blue. Like, why is he reaching out now? Girl, really? Let's break this down. This is what happens when you spend years treating dating like a revolving door. You
Pretty
go on
much.
casual dates, give mixed signals, breadcrumb people, ghost the ones you're not instantly obsessed with, and then years later, act surprised when one of them circles back like you were ever that memorable to begin with. He texted you 3 years later because, newsflash, you weren't the one. You were just one of many. And maybe now he's bored, lonely, or curious, and you happen to pop into his head while scrolling his contacts.
I've done this myself.
That's it. That's the whole mystery. This isn't some he regrets losing me fantasy. This isn't some rom-com plot where the guy
Nope.
suddenly realized what he missed out on.
Like,
He
oh, maybe it was a quick, easy lay if I can just, contact a couple of these girls.
Didn't miss out. He just had options, and you weren't the one he picked. See, the problem isn't that men come back, it's that women think them coming back actually means something. It doesn't. It's convenience. Nostalgia. Maybe he saw your IG and thought, let me try again. That's not a compliment. That's an afterthought. And
True.
here's the kicker.
I think for men it is very similar to that thought process, but for women it's quite different.
If she had settled down 3 years ago with a man who actually wanted her, instead of playing games, testing waters, and chasing excitement, she wouldn't even be entertaining why some ghost from the past slid back into her DMs.
Exactly.
So if you're in your 40s and you're still confused why old flings pop back up, here's the truth. They remember you just enough to think they might still have a shot. Not because they value you, but because you're still on the market. And the real question she should be asking isn't, why is he texting me? It's, why am I still in a position where he thinks I'd reply?
This is for the guys out there. So if you're not a guy, you can keep scrolling. Men, why do you pursue a woman and she tells you that she cannot be hurt again? Like,
Okay.
her heart, her soul can't take it again. And you promise that you're not like that. And then you proceed to do exactly what you promised her you wouldn't do.
He played the game.
I just
Played
want to
it well.
know.
The men who would actually keep their word, build with you, show up every day, and stay when things get hard, those aren't the ones a lot of modern women are chasing.
Nope.
Instead, they're chasing the thrill, the drama. The guy who texts back late, plays games, posts thirst traps, and gives just enough attention to keep you hooked, but never enough to build anything real. Why? Because he makes you feel alive. But here's the part they don't want to admit. That alive feeling is just anxiety, not passion. You get butterflies because you're not sure if he really likes you. You call it excitement, but it's just emotional instability dressed up as chemistry. And when it all burns out, which it always does, now you're crying over a man who was never serious to begin with. Meanwhile, the stable, dependable, emotionally available guy, the one who actually meant what he said, he was too boring. He didn't give you that spark. He didn't trigger your trauma. So you ghosted him, friend-zoned him, or flat out ignored him. Now you're older, confused, and frustrated, wondering where all the good men went. They didn't disappear. You just weren't attracted to them. And now,
Yeah, the Chad Rones and the Tukis of the world treat you this way and continue to treat you this way because you keep going after them.
the Chads you chased, they're still out here doing the same thing. Charming women, making them feel seen, then disappearing without a trace. Because that's what they do. That's who they are. You knew it, and you still picked him. So if you're tired of the cycle, maybe it's time to stop blaming men. Maybe it's time to take a look in the mirror and ask, why do I keep choosing the ones who never had good intentions in the first place? Because the truth is simple. You didn't want the man who keeps his promise. You wanted the one who keeps you chasing.
Men move mountains for women they want to be with.
True.
They'll move mountains for a woman that they want to see, for a woman that they want to prioritize. That is just the reality. So if he's really not making much of an effort for you, trust that he doesn't really like you.
It is that simple of advice for women. If they don't give you the time of day, and the same thing for you men, if the woman is not giving you the time of day, you aren't it. You aren't the one. You aren't the one that she likes. You aren't the one that he likes. Just move on. Everybody stop clamoring and begging for attention from people that you like, but they don't like you back. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I could get